Again to College After Dark, version 3. The date, June 4th, 1975. The time, 9:30 p.m. Tonight we have as our host, Mr. Paul Fitzgerald, who will be taking over right now for College After Dark.
Good evening. Today, origami for self-defense. Now, the basic principles of origami for self-defense are based upon the philosophy of Nen Tung, which, of course, translates as waste in the wilderness. Now, the basic tools of the trade are these. Papers cut to specifics.
Don't watch the matter.
Nothing else. Specific size. All right. Now you take the paper. This is the basic fold. Like this. Get a little shot of this. There. Now, take this. Now we need a surface on which to work, so the desk. Now unfold it, push the sides up until they meet, and then carefully bring them around. Now, you have something like this. Don't let go, whatever you do. Now, if you take your hands like this and quickly flip them, you have the basic fold. Now, let's see what this will do to an attacker. We're going to stage a little demonstration of origami for self-defense. Now, Mr. Jerry Leone, our host, will be the attacker. Thank you.
Wait a minute.
Right on. Now,
You know,
fresh paper is in order.
what we can do,
Is on order.
what we can do,
Requisition Z46. Fresh.
we'll be cutting away right now to are you going to do the attack?
The attack.
We'll be doing the
It's
attack
a genuine
right now.
simulated exhilaration period.
First, this is a simulation of how a man might be reading a paper at some sort of a convention, and we'll run through it first in just normal motion, of course. Now the man suddenly notices that there might be something to his right, and he sees a reflection in his glasses, of course, and reacts to his attacker with a quick but effective origami punch. Of course, rendering the attacker helpless. Now this kind of sudden punch might prove ineffective. As we see here, we'll analyze why in a minute. Now the man goes on with his talking, unsuspecting that the attacker still has the power to render him unconscious, which is a byproduct of the backwards fold which he used there, which we'll see in a minute. Now the stereotyped gestures on the part of the attacker are completely without commercial value. Okay, Tom, we'll run. Now as the man begins to read his paper, you can see that he is overconfident, which was his first mistake. When he sees the light over his right shoulder, he waits perhaps a second too long to react. And I think that was his downfall. Now notice how he first folds the paper. When he sees the smoke and the attacker, he registers a surprise, according to law, and he folds the paper backwards. Now you see that, and then the impact, which actually drove him backwards and set the muscles in the stomach of his attacker to involuntary contractions, which threw him to the ground. Now see, there was a enjoyment, faster than the camera could record before, which set him up for the second attack. Now this is of course when the backwards folding had its effect on him, and he collapsed helpless to the floor. Now you see these stereotype movements again on the part of the attacker. Now these are by no means commercial, as I said before, except for, of course, the feeble raising of the fist.
This, as you see, was the basic technique of origami for self-defense. And you should know that if you are teaching this to your children, it should by no means
enable them to attack you because they might not know the safeguards which we build into the system. Therefore, we bid you a fond good evening for College After Dark, featuring myself, Paul Fitzgerald, and Jerry Leone, and this has been Origami for Self-Defense, English version. Thank you. Please discard this section.
This has been College After Dark, version 3.